What's up, guys? Today we're taking a look at last night's game between the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers. But before we get started, if you're interested in the NBA or NBA 2K content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and stay up to date with all things NBA related. Going into this game, everyone is expecting this to be a clash of the Titans. Seeing all the LeBron versus Curry comparisons, with many people thinking Curry was better than LeBron or even outright picking the Warriors over the Lakers. And I'll admit, I was almost part of this group. Golden State and mostly Steph Curry has been balling out recently, so I would not have been that surprised with them stealing this game from a struggling Los Angeles team. And to start off the game, that is what we got. The Lakers got off to an incredibly slow start, and it was even painful to watch them. But the Warriors did not do much better either. I think Curry only had like 5 points in the first quarter. Both teams were playing some great defense. LA was doubling Curry on nearly every possession, forcing him to give it away. LeBron was also playing quite passive, often overlooking shots and trying to make the pass rather than shooting it. At one point, LA was shooting only 24% and was over halfway done with the second quarter, and yet they only had 30 points. But Golden State's early lead wasn't exactly because of Steph Curry. The two players who probably surprised me the most were Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins. Green proved to be one of the most impactful players in the NBA as he completely erased Anthony Davis in the first half. Offensively, he was doing a great job finding the open man and setting effective screens. And the other player who surprised me was Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins was doing a great job on defense, especially against LeBron. Wiggins was playing strong enough along with good help defense from Bazemore and Green. LeBron was nearly ineffective in the first half. Overall, the Warriors just played like they wanted it more. They were more active in the passing lanes, deflecting passes, pushing the pace, and chasing after loose balls. The Lakers treated this game like it was a regular, boring October game. And another note that I had made is that the Lakers, despite being the much larger team, did not play like it at all against the Warriors. Despite being a lot bigger, Davis was blanketed by Draymond Green and settled for jump shots and three-pointers. It's Anthony Davis. I don't care how good he is at shooting, he should not be going 1 from 6 from three-point range. This is an all-generational type of scorer, not Channing Frye. Davis eventually did turn it up in the second half, finishing with 25, 2, and 12 with a block and a steal. Overall, he was incredibly ineffective and inefficient and was almost a huge reason as to why LA almost lost this game. Speaking of ineffective and inefficient, we also have Andre Drummond. I do not get why this guy is in the starting lineup for the Lakers. He just looks incredibly awkward on the court. He's either handing the ball off at the top of the key or he's just standing down low, picking his nose by the low block, not really doing anything. Defensively, he is also incredibly slow on his feet and is just not showing a lot of impact on either side of the ball. He did grab 7 rebounds in 16 minutes, but with both teams missing this many shots, that isn't exactly impressive. I do not understand why Davis, Harrell, or even Marc Gasol is not getting enough minutes at the center spot. The Lakers did play Davis more at the center and had a lot more success on the offensive end in the second half. While Harrell is not much of a floor spacer, he did shoot 50% from 3 to 10 feet and 43% from mid-range this year. While it's not overly impressive, it is still a lot better than Andre Drummond. Even if you run a weird small ball lineup with someone like LeBron or even Kyle Kuzma playing center to match up against another small ball center, I think they would still be a lot more effective and a lot more impactful on the offense than Andre Drummond. The Lakers also have a spacing problem, which really isn't that surprising. The Lakers are not a three-point shooting team, but like, come on, this team looks like an 80s team that is allergic to spacing. I know it's pretty ghetto, but I just had to take a picture of this play right here to demonstrate how poor the Lakers spacing was. LeBron was at the mid-range with Wiggins on him. Davis was behind and away at the three-point side, allowing Green to sag off and be an additional defender with Wiggins. Caldwell Pope was standing on the wing and Drummond on the low block with Schroeder at the mid-range corner. There's literally nothing that LeBron James can do right here. If he goes right, he runs into Draymond Green and has to pass away to Davis for a difficult, inefficient 3. If he drives left towards the hoop, Jordan Poole can slide over at the rim and contest him. And of course, we all know how good LeBron is at passing out of the drive to find the open man, but Schroeder is literally standing right behind Andre Drummond, essentially putting Bazemore in a position to intercept a pass to either of them. This is incredibly poor spacing by the Lakers and by Frank Vogel. You can't have 4 players line up on one side of the court, have one of them standing over by the hoop doing nothing, and then have them stand on top of each other. While LeBron did rise up over Wiggins and make the shot, that's the only realistic play that he could have made. A contested mid-range fade is an inefficient shot, and if I'm the Warriors, I'm incredibly happy letting LeBron shoot that every single time. Going into the playoffs against a well-coached and a good defensive team in Phoenix, LA is going to have to do a lot better at spacing out the floor if they want to have any type of success. This was something I saw LA do a lot this game, and it's something that they need to change. Like in a dramatic movie fashion, the Lakers came out looking like a new team to start off the second half. With about 10 minutes left in the third quarter, LeBron had a fast break steal and an and one that actually looked like a LeBron King James play. Davis was still settling for outside jumpers, just further improving my respect for Draymond Green. Curry went off, hitting 3 difficult 3-pointers to end the quarter. A few minutes into the fourth quarter, the Lakers finally got their first lead of the game, and LeBron was starting to put the team on his back, making plays and getting tough buckets around the rim. Offensively for the Warriors, Wiggins and Curry did their best to produce, and Wiggins even had a really tough and one in the last few minutes, and of course, Steph Curry did his thing. But LeBron and Anthony Davis finally remembered that they're all-time greats and actually started to take control of the game. Going into this game, LeBron James was set to a 30-minute restrictions because of the ankle injuries he had sustained throughout the year, so with about 8 minutes left in the game, LeBron was actually subbed out and we were unsure if he was going to return. With about 5 minutes left, coach stepped in and decided to go back into the game. And in the last few minutes of the game, this looked like a completely different LeBron that we've been seeing the entire game, as he took control of the game in the last few minutes and capped it off with hitting one of the most difficult 3-point shots, a deep 30-foot bomb over Steph Curry to give the Lakers the lead in the last minute of the game. Then to follow that up, the Warriors completely biffed the last play of the game. Bazemore forced it into Steph Curry despite Andrew Wiggins being wide open in the corner, and while it was Andrew Wiggins, he was wide open in the corner with a catch-and-shoot 3. Compared to a double-team Steph Curry, who would you rather have shooting the final shot? I'm going to take the open Wiggins every time. So the Warriors blew that final play, and they blew what I think was at one point a 16-point lead against the LA Lakers, and now they are finding themselves in the second round of the elimination tournament going up against the Memphis Grizzlies. This Warriors team is no slouch of a team. Curry is obviously Steph Curry. Wiggins is far more capable than what we've been giving him credit for, and Draymond Green is still much more impactful than what we really think he is. Kerr's coaching, along with this Warriors team and their scrappy mentality, could go a way in the playoffs, and I would be shocked to see this team drop to the Grizzlies, but stranger things have happened. As far as for the Lakers, you guys are in, but come on, what was that? I don't think this gives anyone more credit that they will actually beat the Suns, Clippers, or even the Nuggets. LeBron, while having a good second half, looked noticeably more timid and more pass first than usual. Davis was also completely negated for most of the game and was unable to hit his outside shots. Schroeder did also not look too effective, and Drummond was literally a waste of space. And Harrell was wasting all of his talent on the bench. While I am never one to doubt the greatness of LeBron and the impact of good team defense in the NBA, this team is going to struggle massively on offense. And the Suns, the Jazz, and the Clippers are all excellent defensive teams with capable wing defenders. No matter what happens to the Lakers, I'm not going to be surprised. If the Lakers lose in the first round of Phoenix, I could easily see how Phoenix can outcoach them. If the Lakers beat the Suns, it's LeBron, of course he wouldn't lose in the first round. If they lose to the Clippers, yeah, it's Kawhi Leonard and Paul George on a stacked Clippers team. But if they beat the Clippers, well, the Clippers also have serious flaws and a guy called Paul George. So yeah, I could see them beating the Clippers. The Lakers are a huge question mark that needs to get their stuff together. As much as I don't want to bet against the King, this team has looked like they could barely even beat the Warriors. I do think that they have a good matchup going into the Suns. While Miles Bridges and a good overall Suns defense can slow down LeBron, the Suns have no answer for Anthony Davis. Even just a few games ago, Anthony Davis basically single-handedly beat the Suns as he scored 42 points. While Davis is a freak of nature who sometimes plays soft, DeAndre Ayton is also a freak of nature who sometimes plays soft. Anyways though, I'm expecting that series is going to be absolutely fantastic to watch, and I can definitely tell you as a Suns fan, I am worried about how well they're going to match up against the Lakers. And stay tuned as I should have another Warriors My GM episode coming out too. Alright, that's it for this one. I'll catch you guys later.